What's up, guys? Sean Don is back. Technical analysis, like number 4 or 5 on the week. I don't even know. It's been so many. But here we have James Plummer throwing the weight. He is doing two winds and 3 or 4 turns. 4 turns, I think. So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, I think you guys might know my criticisms of the winds and doing so many turns, but James said that it was his coach's call to build special strength, which is fine, I guess. And honestly, in my opinion, from what I know about James, he is strong enough and athletic enough to handle winding the weight. He has a long wingspan, yeah, like I said, strong and athletic, so he can handle it, unlike most people. And even if you watch the video, he actually does a pretty good job. So let's break it down. Well, let's watch it first.
Good.
Alright, one more time.
Good.
Okay, so James, breaking it down. So through the winds, like I said, I think you do pretty good on the winds. You don't let the ball drop too much. You don't get pulled off your axis too much. You keep that weight over the left side pretty well. Shift to the right, and then you'll shift back to the left. So you can see you're holding that left side axis pretty well. That's one of the problems with the winds, that people get pulled over to the right side too much. And then also, you're strong enough to keep the ball up. You do a good job keeping it relatively flat. So as you come through here, and this is another good thing here, is a lot of people miss out on the winds, turning those shoulders back to connect with the ball earlier. Most people keep their head facing forward and their shoulders turn back slightly, whereas if you turn your head to the right like James is, and his shoulders face what would be this wall over here, I suppose, if you open them up more to 90 degrees, if you're a right-handed thrower, then it definitely, or not 90 degrees, sorry, 270, I apologize, 3 o'clock. Open those shoulders more, connect earlier. That's going to help out a heck of a lot more than not doing so. So you connect earlier, your arms are longer. And then once again, you do a good job of setting up this left side axis. Excellent job. I know you're doing a toe turn, so that sets up posture a little bit better. And this is one of the things, like I've already said, it's hard to get back over this left side when you are winding the weight. So, but coming through entry, do a pretty good job letting the ball pass. Very good job letting the ball pass, especially for the weight. It's hard, and most of the time people want to automatically lead with this left side, whereas you do a very good job, so you hold this left side axis. But the problem is you can see your left hip right there as that goes. As the ball goes left, your hips are back, your shoulders are forward. You can see the angle here. If anything, your hip should be forward and this knee should be more over this toe, which would help set up that left side axis even better. So you do a good job setting it up, but then you don't have the proper posture to keep it where it's at. So right now you're missing out on a little bit of efficiency in the entry, and I think that'll come into play later in the throw, specifically after the first catch in this first turn. So let's break it down. So the left hip shifts back, but then you do a pretty good job of coming around the left side. Most people have the tendency to pull off as the ball goes left, and you stick with it, so your posture's not great, but like I said, you stick with it and you work the ball and you relax pretty good. So then as you come through, you can see there's a slight lean in the shoulders, very subtle. I think once again that'll come into play later on, if I recall correctly from what I've seen. And then as you come down, catch the ball pretty early, relatively speaking. For the weight, it's hard to catch super early with the weight because it is so short and so heavy. But then, like I said, same thing. The posture in the entry mirrors the posture in the first catch. So you started with those hips just slightly back and those shoulders slightly forward, and that's what's happening here. But overall, like for the most part, your weight is on this right side. It's pretty good. Or left side, sorry. Your weight is on your left side. My camera view, right side. Your left side in the throw. I think if your hips were just more forward, I wouldn't even say your shoulders need to go back that much. Your hips just need to be forward, and that, once again, that right knee needs to be a little bit more forward over this toe, and then the hips will be more underneath your shoulders. You could also think right hip forward, right hip towards the ball, and then that'll set you up much more efficiently set you up to be much more efficient in this first turn into the second turn. When the typical thing that happens is you catch with that little bit of broken posture, and then from there you have to. I've said before, there's a latency period in some of my other technical analysis videos where you can't really quite get to work with those hips just slightly back. The tendency is to pull the hips back underneath you, and you don't quite get that, and because you catch with this broken posture, you can't really use this right side at all. So you can't use the right leg, can't use the right hip, knee, foot. You can't push with the right hand as well. You could try, and some people say they can feel it, but it's not a true push you'll see in most of the top guys that are throwing hammer nowadays. And this, once again, this is a problem with the weight too, is that it's so heavy that the tendency is to pull the left side, so you can't really teach that push with the right side, or teach a strong right side, or teach finding tension with that right side. It's so hard because it is so short and so heavy. So, but otherwise, as you come through, excellent positions here. Body's stacked, left heel is down, right foot is sort of turning. As we come through 0, we don't quite get the frame right in between, but once again, pretty solid. Right side turning with the ball, left side holding pretty well. But then here, once again, comes the broken posture. It's coming back to bite you right now. So your hips are just a little bit back, and you can see here, your left hip is there, and then next frame it shifts back again. That's a sign of the left side pulling, and then you can also see your left leg, left foot in these next 2 frames. Boom. There's this down here. That is a sign that you have too much weight on your right side, or your left side is overactive. That little shift. Alright? That's a big sign that you're using your left side to pull the weight along rather than use that right side to push the weight. And to be fair, like I said, it's hard. I don't know, with all the technical stuff that I've learned over the past 6-8 months since indoor season, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to complete the technique that I want with the weight, so we'll see how that goes. But in terms of, in theory, and what you're trying to accomplish to make this more specific to the hammer, like you said, doing 2 winds and 4 turns to make it more specific for the hammer and more special strength, really got to hold this left side right here. So think about keeping this left side exactly where it's at, and then just letting the ball run longer out to the left, and then chase that ball with the right hip, with the right leg, turn with it more. Really got to hold this left side here and let the ball just go. Alright? And then once you do that, honestly, that your entire throw will change. 3 and 4 will get much easier. But right here, once again, you can see this left foot is pointing almost to 180, ball's still at 90, and then the right foot is with the ball, but the left side is just so far ahead. And then here comes the lean just a little bit more. The shoulders leaning, those hips are back. Once again, the shoulders should be more level and your hips should be more underneath you. And then that posture, you're kind of bailing that left side out to get that right side around. Whereas it's supposed to be the left side is a post or a door hinge, and the right side is the engine. You can move around it. The left side's axis, right side engine. I've said this a million times in my technical analysis videos, but it definitely applies here. You bail out this left side, so you pull that left side away to get that right side around and try to catch early. And I mean, like in terms of where the ball is at when your right foot comes up, it's totally fine. 90 degrees is great, but then it's this broken posture and this little shoulder tilt. That's a sign. That's an indicator that you are bailing out that left side to get that right foot down. That's why you almost over-rotate. You come just about, it looks like you're catching just about in line with your left foot, with your right foot. But if you were to keep that left side more stable and work that right side more around, you'd catch earlier with better posture. So your right foot would maybe be like 4 to 6 inches closer to the sector, and the ball would be maybe another like let's say maybe back there, and that extra 15 degrees can go a long way, especially in the weight throw. So as you come through, and you can even see your hips start to come forward there. Alright, but you can see you're kind of clamping down with this left heel just a little bit early. And that's just another sign that you're going to pull that left side a little bit more. I'm not a fan of artificially closing the left side, so that means like I don't think about putting my left heel down per se. I think about using my right side, and if you do everything right and you set up with all this weight on this left side, and you turn this right side into that left side, so this right knee into that left knee, and you wait for the ball to pass, the left heel will come down naturally just about as the ball gets inside the right foot, which is what happens, but it looks like there's a very active, especially with this, the shin angle here and the foot angle in relation to the ball, it looks like there's an active, like you're trying to put your left heel down. But I mean, otherwise, like your right side's still with the ball, so you're there, but you really just got to calm this left side down and create tension with the right side. Got to relax more and let the ball run more, whereas you're creating tension with that left side, and that's a big no-no. And then as you come through, same sort of thing as in the previous turn, a little bit worse, and you can see in this throw you do kind of travel down the left sector line a little bit, so I think what the left sector line would be probably about where these people are standing, and the right sector line would be probably somewhere over here. Ideally you want to travel more down this sector line. That means you're keeping your posture and working the right side well, whereas using your left side and pulling your left side away means you're going to travel more down this left side, left sector. And then there's a little lift here in the upper body, just a little bit. Shoulders go back, and that's you just transferring force to the ball. That's fine. But then same thing, a little lean here, hips are more underneath you, but then you pull that left side away, bail that left side out to get the right side around, and you catch. And hard to say here with this frame, can't quite tell where your foot is down, but see, now this is where you want to be. This is where you want to be, over this left side. Like I said, this left foot and this left heel are still kind of cheating ahead, but your weight is more back over this left side axis. And then, like I said, so this is a natural position. Your hips want to be underneath your shoulders. It's kind of the power position. Think about if you're doing a snatch or a clean. Triple extension happens when the hips are pretty much almost directly underneath the shoulders. And then as you come through, there's a little tightness in here too. You can see it looks like you're clamping out with your lats. Let your shoulders go forward, let the ball go out nice and long. And then same thing as previous turn, that kind of premature left side heel getting down. Pulls the left side away. You can see more tightness through the arms in this super high quality video. That's my fault. Don't worry, James. It's not your fault. But yeah, a little tightness, and then of course whatever happens in the previous turns is going to happen in the later turns. So this left side gets even worse as it pulls back and pulls away, and there's tightness in the arms, and this left side is open. And yeah, pull that left side away, bail that left side out to drive the right side around. And you can even see here there's a slight bend in the right arm. Try to relax more, let the ball go out left. And then as you come down, best catch of the throw, hips back over the shoulders, right hip forward. Unfortunately, it's too late, and all that left side has done already all of the work. And then since you bail out that left side to get the right side around, you end up catching relatively late compared to the previous turns, where you were catching at 270. Now it's just a little bit after, but your posture is better, so that's why you kind of really stick the finish, and this weight is all over this left side. And then you work it through. See, and this is what I'm talking about right here, this clean snatch position. Hips are forward, shoulders are back over the hips. If we had a side view, I feel like this would be very good for you to see, for everyone to see. But unfortunately, because that left side has already kind of had its momentum, and it's developed throughout the throw, and it's been working throughout the whole throw, it happens in the finish too, and you see this. Ideally, you want to keep, once again, left hip, left shoulder kind of in line, and then work the ball out, around, and finish. This is a big problem I have too, so I understand it. But you pull that left side away, trying to create more force, and then but luckily you have enough force coming through this right leg and enough weight over this left side that you do stick the finish, and it's nice and pretty, and textbook finish, not gonna lie, pretty solid. You can get a little tango afterwards, a little dance, yeah, so alright. But yeah, so that's it, James. Like I said, you do some things really well. Like I said, you handle these winds in the 4 turns very good. But I think there's a lot that you can work on in terms of letting the ball pass and relaxing that left side and waiting for the right side. And just learning how to create tension with the right side is such a huge thing in the hammer throw, and especially the weight. And this posture right here, man, if you fix that, that's going to be an extra meter right there. Fix that, and then calm that left side down, and the rhythm of your throw will change, the feeling of your throw will change. It'll be much easier, you'll be throwing much farther. Like I said, efficiency is the goal here. I think you said you were throwing just about 21 meters. So, yeah, hopefully we can get you over 22, because honestly, you got 22 in the tank based on this technique, and that second turn, this left side pulling away, that is such a huge inefficiency. So if you get that worked out, James, you're going to go big this year. So, all right, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, James. Thanks for asking for my help. If you guys got any questions, comment down below. Let me know if I need to elaborate on anything. If you're interested in technical analysis of your own, go to www.seandonnelly.biz. Go to the services page, technical analysis, in-depth, or Instagram, $15 or $5, doesn't matter. Hit me up and start making gains, setting PRs. It's indoor season's rolling around, so get those weight throw analysis videos. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Sean Don. Peace out.